All right, guys, welcome back. So, white box season arrived a few, well, maybe just before Christmas, actually.
Yeah, I saw that on Instagram, popped up.
We got some new golf balls through the door. It's the way the OEMs send out their prototype boxes to us of golf balls. Anytime they say the new Prov1, they don't take that lightly.
Yeah.
They know it is the benchmark golf ball in the game, and taking it onto the next level comes with the burden of what's new.
And also the burden of don't make it worse than last time.
Exactly.
People will freak out.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
The family has expanded on tour, especially you've got the kind of 4 models now that you've got the left dash, and this is before you go into previous years that we know people still like to maybe use a certain year like back in 2019 or 13 or whatever it is. But talking about current inline product on the tour, you have left dash Prov1x.
Yep.
You've got Prov1x, you've got Prov1, and you've got left dot.
The left
Prov1.
Yeah.
So there's obviously a little bit of testing goes on with these other lower volume golf balls, and I think we're seeing a little bit of that injected into these 2 new mainstream golf balls.
And they've kind of said that in the literature, like they were sort of inspired by some of the really good things that came out of those 2 golf balls.
Yeah.
And I think probably part of it, if I had to guess, was those 2 balls were so hard to find.
Yes.
If you did find them, they were a fortune.
Yeah.
Left out was nearly impossible to get. So maybe Titleist is thinking, okay, people like things about that. We're probably not going to sell them in volume.
Yep.
Let's put those
highlights
into these balls.
Exactly.
And it makes a lot of sense.
It really does. Yeah. So we've still got the same layering conversation. We've got 3 layers with the Prov1, 4 layers with the Prov1x. We've got 2 distinctly different dimple patterns that give us different aerodynamics. Packages, we've got 388 dimples on the Prov. We've got 348 with Prov1x.
If someone has no idea why that matters, why would you want more dimples on the Prov1?
So it's, again, just how you want it to fly.
Okay.
So Prov1 is the lower kind of flighted golf ball.
Okay.
So
more dimples gets it through a lower window.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, there's a little bit more to it than even just the number, because if we look at the size difference, right? So you see very consistent dimple pattern Prov1.
Yeah.
They all look very symmetrical. And you look over X and you see lots of different sizes.
Big ones.
Yeah. What we're really looking at with the core, guys, and under the hood is where the technology differences are.
Yeah.
It lies inside the golf ball. We've got this new layering that is designed to be a little bit firmer on the outside, with a little bit of a softer inside core. So it's basically looking for a high energy transfer.
Right, so we want to see some extra ball speed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and that's literally what Titleist have said, and their tour players have said is, I feel like I have what I had before. I now have a little bit more horsepower.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, it makes a lot of sense having that. It's a casing layer, they call it, right?
Yeah, you've got the casing layer under the
right
cast
under the
urethane cover.
Right.
So you've got that casing layer, and then you're into the core, single core dual core with Prov1x.
Right.
The new kind of progressive core, again firmer on the outside, going into a softer inside core on the golf ball, to give you that versatility of short game feel with long game performance.
Yeah, and a little bit lower long game spin. Is that what they were kind of going for?
They've certainly talked a little bit about that. Yeah. They've got a little bit less spin coming out there, and really consistency is the key. Whether spin is high or whether spin is low, what you really just want is to do the same thing over and over again.
Reliability. Yeah,
try and drive down, and when the way we test it is in that standard deviation. We want to be seeing the same things. We don't want to be seeing fluctuations in performance. And being honest, we do see that with some of the other golf balls that we test.
Yeah, and Titleist is usually one of the best ones for that category. Yep. So I expect to see that in this, and whether it's a little bit better than past years, we'll find out.
Absolutely. All right, why don't we give you both over here.
Okay.
Through our normal protocol, 50-yard partial wedge shot. We'll go through full wedge, 7-iron, and then we'll hit some driver, see if there's that little speed.
Yeah, a little bit of speed would be good. Okay.
Cool.
That's a nice one.
Clipped that lovely. That's another lovely one.
Felt good. That's it.
Nice. Different noise.
Bit firmer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice too.
Beauty.
A lot of people will look at this and say, like, what are you talking about? Those are super close.
Yeah.
But 400 RPMs on a 50-yard shot, it's not nothing.
It is a decent amount.
And we don't usually see it. Even hitting the Prov1 a bit further, which generally gets a bit more spin,
yeah,
it still was under the Prov1x when it comes to backspin.
It's definitely different. I mean, 7900 was the peak with Prov1, and really tight standard deviation on that one. It just seems to me like if you could mesh the two golf balls, if you could just blend them, especially with a wedge.
So true.
Prov1 feel with Prov1x performance, I mean, you'd be winning.
Felt good.
Nice, Matty boy. That was a lovely strike.
That felt really good.
Really nice.
Really nice flight there. It's a nice one.
Really like how these are flying.
It is a nice flight, yeah. Felt really good. I mean, definitely a little firmer off the face.
Yeah. Nice, Matty.
Felt good. Looks like it's got some zip to it. Good too.
Very, very similar in speed.
Yeah.
Similar on launch. I think we can say the higher launch is because we kept it more left.
Agreed.
There's a little more spin with Prov1x, but we also had a fraction more of the left start line on it. Yeah, I think we're seeing exactly. I mean, output is almost identical.
It is, yeah.
On ball speed and delivery speed. Nice.
It's a nice flight, eh?
I mean, I will say they do seem hot.
I mean, it came off the face with tons of speed. I felt pretty, yeah, like that felt pretty smooth, but $130 on the ball speed's fast. Yeah, really good. So, I mean, I keep repeating myself, but the ball feels so good off every club. Felt really good.
That's the one.
Sound difference, eh? You hear that?
It did.
I want to say that's going to have some spin on it. It feels powerful off the club,
really
doesn't it?
sounds it.
Like I just feel like I mashed that. Ooh, it felt
That
so
was
good.
excellent.
I really like that one.
Yeah, very, very similar in efficiency, and
Head speed.
your sort of delivery speed was right there as well.
Yeah, so the X just has a little bit more pop off it.
A little bit more. Both of them are very impressive on consistency of spin.
Felt really good.
How good is that?
Straight as a string. Couple hops. Whew, get there. Slow fringe. That's really good. It's a bomb.
It looks like it had all of those. I mean, there's more
felt-
spin in that. It's staying in the air for sure.
It's really a good shot. That felt great. That felt really good. Ooh. Yeah, it feels quick coming off the club. So quick. That felt great.
That's the one.
Straight as I can hit it. A little quicker.
A little bit quicker. I mean, spin, I think his spin is more of an influence on strike.
On the draw and the strike, yeah.
And again, back to where we said, I can't remember if it was maybe the wedge, but if you if you flipped the deliveries and strikes around, I think the gap would quite easily go the other way. But we've always seen the kind of driver performance is quite similar.
Well, as you always say, you wouldn't pick the ball off the driver, would you? No. They're both so efficient. You'd pick it off the actually in this case the partial wedge.
Yeah.
And some of the 7-iron flight.
Yeah, and to be honest, you could probably also really cater towards the personal feel.
Yeah, no doubt Prov1x was firmer. I kind of liked it because it really just felt like the ball was like exploding off. It felt like speed, just in a nice way.
It really sounded like it was quick.
Yeah.
And then so big difference in the wedge, less so in the pitching wedge, but X just slightly above it. 7-iron, 300 again.
A little more speed.
A little bit more speed, and driver, well, obviously we can see the shape. The X, we turned a couple over. We hit that lovely last one down the left side. It was pretty much perfect. I mean,
they were remarkably similar.
Yeah, if we were to kind of say,
that's so
numbers
well
wise, like, kind of feels to me like that's probably a bit of the story right there.
Yeah, so the last shot that was straight versus the average of the Prov1, they're identical.
Yeah.
I mean, I could play either of these. I think I'll do some experimenting. Obviously, we're really early in the season.
Yeah.
But what I would say is, since we've started on our swing change kind of journey, I haven't seen 170 ball speeds, and I certainly haven't seen speed come out of my 7-iron that easily.
Seemed very free flowing in terms of the speed there.
Yeah, so it seemed like the balls, I mean, the efficiencies were so high.
So high.
I think these are two that I would really pay attention to, because I don't want to have to swing it on my shoes. I want to work on technique.
Yeah.
And if the ball can give me a bit of extra speed, then great.
Well, guys, performance-wise, obviously you can tell we're impressed. I mean, it does seem like there's definitely a conversation around speed. You guys in the comments will tell us that, yep, looks great, but I'm still going to stick to my $30 a dozen box. I get it. And those of you who go, play Prov1 and Prov1x, I'm never going to play anything else, you have your opinion as well. It's great.
Yeah.
So, but for those who are kind of, who do hop around the brands and maybe try a TP5 or maybe try a Chrome Soft, I think you've got a good reason to circle back and try Prov if maybe the previous couple of editions weren't exactly what you wanted. I would be keen to see people circle back and go, okay, how does this stack up? Because I don't think you're going to be wanting in any category here. Speed, feel, spin, launch. Aerodynamics is something we haven't tested, but we will.
We will.
We're planning getting outdoors and doing some testing on the aerodynamics into some different wind conditions. Really keen to do that.
We've definitely done at least 2 white box Prov1 and Prov1x tests since we started the channel.
Right. Usually
Usually it's like, good, they did what they were supposed to do. They justify the price depending on your opinion.
Yeah.
But I've never really been sort of impressed.
Yeah.
This is the first year where I'm like,
Me too.
they seem like they really did something good.
Me too, without a doubt. Every other year is how Titleist launches their products, whether it's irons, woods, whatever it might be. Golf ball's the same thing. So waiting 2 years for a new Prov1 golf ball, this is an important video for us. This is something we really looked forward to. So you can tell how Matt and I feel about the performance. You could hear in certain shots, both of us react to, wow, that sounded quicker, but it's retained the spin. There's some real elements of performance in all kind of categories here. So really, really impressed. As I said, get out and try it. Let us know how you feel about it.
Both are excellent balls.
Definitely. Okay, guys, stay tuned for more golf ball testing. We'll see you again soon.